Today's video is brought to you by the good people over at patriotpost.us. They are an excellent source of news, information, op-eds, and all that good stuff. And a link for them will be in the description box. So when you head over there and subscribe, tell them that ABL sent you. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Don Lemon of CNN, quote unquote, apologizing for his actions on air just a day or two ago when he was laughing hysterically at this guy. I think his name is Rick something or other. Doesn't really matter. The guy was talking about Trump supporters being ignorant, not really knowing anything about the world, not really knowing where Ukraine is, being dumb, the boomer rube demographic, all this, that, and the third. Now, before I even get into it, what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and roll the so-called apology, and I'll also play some of the previous clips so you get some context if you've not seen it already or you want a refresher. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what he said. I'll talk about what the guy said. I'll give you my 2 cents, my analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Donald Trump couldn't find Ukraine on a map if you had the letter U and a picture of an actual physical crane next to it. He knows that this is, an administration defined by ignorance of the world. And so that's partly him playing to their base and playing to their audience, the credulous boomer rube demo that backs Donald Trump, that wants to think that Donald Trump's a smart one and y'all elitists are dumb.
And one final note that I have for you, because this is personally important to me to address this, okay? Ask anyone who knows me, they'll tell you, I don't believe in belittling people, belittling anyone for who they are, for what they believe, or where they're from. During an interview on Saturday night, one of my guests said something that made me laugh. And while in the moment, I found that joke humorous. And I didn't catch everything that was said. Just to make this perfectly clear, I was laughing at the joke and not at any group of people.
All right, so you saw that, you see what's going on. Now, the obvious question I have for you is, are you buying the apology, the quote unquote apology? I'm not. First of all, was that even an apology? An apology would be, I regret this person being on air saying what he was saying. I don't agree with that. I don't condone that. I don't approve of that. I don't think that Trump supporters are ignorant. I don't think that Trump is ignorant and does not know where Ukraine is on the map, even if it's just lightly labeled. I don't believe those things. I apologize for what I did and what I said on air on CNN, but he didn't do that. He was like, oh, I would never talk about people in the group and down them, all this, that, and the third. I was laughing at a joke, and that's it. Well, I mean, what was the joke about, sir? The joke was about us as Trump supporters not really knowing anything about the world, being ignorant, not knowing where Ukraine is, being the quote-unquote boomer rube demographic. Now, I'm not necessarily the youngest man in the world, but I'm not an old man either. Do I appear to be the boomer rube demographic? Do I appear to be just totally unintelligent and I can't point out where Ukraine is on the map? I just don't really think that's me. Or is it many Trump supporters? Trump supporters, like I said in the previous video, come in all shapes, sizes, colors, intelligence levels, income levels. We're not just some isolated block. And I think that people like the guy that was on with Don Lemon and the other person should know that, considering that he actually won the presidency. He should know that because he should have seen some of the footage from the Trump rallies where you were able to see us in full color. He should know that because I and many other black folks have been to the White House several times by the hundreds. Okay, and we're on TV, we're not hiding, we're out here doing things, but maybe this is this person just being in the ivory tower in the sky and looking down upon us like we're nothing, like we're peons. But see, that kind of attitude is part of the reason why they lost in 2016, and it will be a big part of the reason why they'll lose in 2020 as far as the presidency is concerned. And I think that the right will also take back the House. The impeachment thing is going nowhere. It's a non-starter, nothing burger. But I'm going to just pivot a little bit and go back to Don Lemon. Don Lemon said, oh, I was just laughing at a joke. I was not meaning to offend a group of people. But Don Lemon has a pattern of laughing at jokes that demean certain people or certain groups of people. Remember this?
Kanye West is what happens when Negroes don't read. And we have this now, and now Donald Trump is going to use it and pervert it, and he's going to have somebody who can stand with him and take pictures.
Just looking at Scott's Scott's like, whoa, okay. So
it's a Chris Rock reference, by the way, Scott.
I mean, you seem to really enjoy that joke about Kanye being ignorant, being dumb, not reading, being a Negro that don't read. And then you had the white guy laughing. Imagine if that were a conservative person laughing about a black person being ignorant on Fox News, per se. Oh, everybody on the left, this is racist, it's the Klan News Network, this, that, and the third. But on CNN, it's perfectly fine to talk about a guy like Kanye. Oh, he doesn't know anything, doesn't do anything, which is not even true, because look at what he and his wife have been able to do. The prison reform, getting black folks out of jail. I mean, I don't understand what's the problem. A lot of lefties should be on the side of a Trump and a Kanye and a Kim Kardashian and many others, because of what we're actually doing. Things are actually improving. You having real prison reform, people that been locked up 30-something years for cocaine when they should have gotten much less time than that, are coming home to their friends and family. Okay. So I don't really understand the actual issue from the left. Maybe it's just about trying to assert dominance, assert supremacy. That's kind of interesting how the left will say that the right are emboldening white supremacists and neo-Nazi and whatnot, but their ideology in many ways is that of those they proclaim to be against. You know, a supreme ideology. I know more than you, therefore whatever I say goes, and whatever you say is totally irrelevant. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from them over there on the left. This whole thing with eugenics as well. They're proponents of Planned Parenthood, abortion. 21 plus million black babies have been aborted since 1973, Roe v. Wade. In New York City, if you are a black woman, you are more likely to abort your baby than actually have one. By the numbers, by a margin like 6,500, there were more abortions than live births in the past few years. So I'm not really seeing where the left has any kind of leg to stand on or any kind of pulpit to preach from and preach down upon us like we are not doing the right thing. They're not doing the right thing, and they think we over here are dumb, unintelligent. I implore all of you, if you want to get back at a crime news network, comedy news network, go out there 2020 in the polls and vote the right way, pun intended. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Don Lemon was being sincere with his apology? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or was he being insincere? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. I don't think that it was an apology at all. It was just something that he was probably prompted by CNN to do because they were getting a negative backlash all over social media. You know, at a certain point, they say all publicity is good publicity, but that may not necessarily be the case all the time. Sometimes you get negative publicity and it can really damage you and your reputation. CNN has been taking a beating over the past few years as being a network that has continued declining their quality and their credibility. And it's well warranted. There have been things that have come out through Project Veritas, a shout out to them, that have shown how biased they are. It has shown how many employees that have been there for a long time have actually witnessed a decline with their own two eyes from the inside. We've seen it from the outside. We've seen them go from a respected news network to a non-news network to a tabloid network, and those that are on the inside have seen the same thing. They've seen them go from being serious, covering real stories, to trying to chase clicks and chasing money, chasing ads, chasing revenue, and pushing forward the objective and the ideology of the CEO, Jeff Zucker, being a never Trumper. Is being a never Trumper worth losing your entire base, losing your company, and on top of that, not even being effective when it comes to the 2020 general election? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I gotta say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.